You poured a lot of resources, took a lot of flack on this case.
You shouldn't be the district attorney if you're not willing to take flack. The reality is the world has been caught up with one defendant, but we indicted 28 defendants. 14 of those defendants are now disposed of cases. We have 14 more defendants to go, and so we are going to continue to pursue justice in that case.
Ms. Willis says though Young Thug exited the Fulton County Jail soon after his plea in a car driven by one of his attorneys, he had already done a substantial amount of time in jail while awaiting or going through his trial.
He's been in jail almost 3 years, so that is not a walk in the park.
She says there is room for accountability in the complicated sentence involving 5 years commuted time served, followed by 15 years probation, to be followed by a, quote, backloaded 20-year prison term, which will also be commuted to time served if he successfully completes the probation, which is loaded with lots of special conditions.
Hope springs eternal that he will do well, because if not, he's going to land himself in prison for another 20 years.
Fani Willis has spoken. And, you know, as any individual in a relationship, when their partner hurt them, the first thing, you know, if you got too much pride, the first thing you want to do is you want to act like you ain't hurt. You know what I mean? You want to start mentioning, you know what I mean? If you too far gone, you're going to start mentioning what you did and, you know what I mean, your wins and, you know, things like that. And, you know, that's what I equivalent Fani Willis talking about thug plea deal. You know what I mean? And it's also, I look at Fani Willis as a bully who has been defeated. And you know, most bullies, when they get beat up, first thing they do is make an excuse, or I slip, or the person stole off on me, or, you know what I mean, this and that. So, you know, they always got an excuse of why they lost. But in reality was, they never had a case, man. Their whole case was built off social media and circumstantial evidence. And when you're going against people who good at their job, people who, you know what I mean, really know what they're doing, in regards to those defense attorneys, you're gonna lose every time. I want to say it was a walk in the park for them defense attorneys, but it really wasn't, because they kind of got started off on a bad foot, being that they had to deal with Judge Glanville at first. So they kind of went into, you know what I mean, into dealing with Paige Whitaker as they didn't really know what to expect. But I must say, I apologize to Paige Whitaker. She knew what she was doing the whole time. And what she was doing the whole time was, you know how in a relationship where you let your partner do what they want to do just to see what they want to do? So you let them do what they want to do, and you don't, you know what I mean, you don't stop them from doing what they want to do. That way, at the end of the day, you are able to see the type of person that you're dealing with, and you are able to see what they want to do. You know what I mean? And that's how Judge Paige Whitaker set up the DA to, you know, play themselves. You know what I mean? She basically let them show their hand in every situation that they could. And at the end, as we see when it came to Thug's sentencing, which they put Thug's sentence in her hands, when it came down to Thug's sentence, she threw that 20 plus years back in the DA face that they recommended to him. I mean, Miss Love came up there. Not only did she basically sound like she was presenting a whole case against Thug, but she tried to play some mind games to where she wanted Nut family to give a impact speech, and I kind of felt where it was going when she shut down Nut family giving that impact speech, because for one, Thug was never charged with that. Thug was never charged with his murder. So if she would have let Nut's family give that speech, it would have kind of showed in the direction that she was going in regards to sentencing Thug. But she didn't even allow that to happen, which was a good thing. So I kind of figured from there she was going to be lenient with him. But I honestly didn't think she was going to be that lenient with Thug, to where she gave him time served for everything. And she, you know what I mean? She, like I say, she basically threw them 20 plus years back in the DA face. You know what I mean? Threw it back in their face. And you know what I mean? Back to Fani, like I was saying, just like any hurt individual in a relationship, you're gonna, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna act like you're not hurt. 9 times out of 10, you're gonna act like the wounds aren't that deep. But we all know, for you to be the bully that you are, for you to show all the bully tactics, all the dirty tactics, all the corrupt tactics, and everything gets dropped down to probation, you got to be hurt. Because one of the things that Fani said was, well, we charged, this was a 28-person indictment, and we got this and that and that and this and this and that. But Fani, your whole case, all those plea deals that you gave those co-defendants besides Thug, was in the purpose of railroading Thug. So with the big fish basically getting off the case, I know 15 years of probation is, you know what I mean, far from beating it. But in regards to what he was facing and what y'all was trying to do to him and how y'all was just trying to railroad him, the man got off. So in that case, for all the plea deals to be guided, you know what I mean, in the direction of trying to railroad Thug, which was the big fish in this case, Fani, y'all lost. Fani, you lost. And I feel like you would have got more respect from if you would have came at the angle of, the judge didn't see it the way that we seen it. You know what I mean? These guys are able to get a, you know what I mean, second chance, and you know what I mean, just something in those, you know what I mean, in that direction versus still acting like you won. You know what I mean? Versus still acting like you won, and we all know that you didn't win. And I just feel like when it comes to the DA office, the other district attorneys under Fani Willis, I just feel like at this point, those are in charge as far as the judge, as far as the jurors and things like that, the people who it really matters to, I just feel like all the respect is gone for them. Like I mentioned in a video before, I say the defense is against the DA, the judge is against the DA, and now we see the jurors are against the DA after that juror came to court, where he basically put in a letter saying that he's basically disgusted with the way that the state is presenting their case, and it's basically no way he could be unbiased to where, you know what I mean, he's not gonna give a ruling in a defense's favor. So like I say, video ago, I said, well, we'll know how the jury feel once the case is over. But it ain't even take till the case was over. We was able to find out how the jury feel just by off of one juror. Because you got to understand. I don't care who you are. if someone is taking up 2.5 years of your time and you basically can't live your life, you know what I mean? You basically can't do what you want to do. You basically can't travel, can't do this and that. You know what I mean? Bro, that is gonna frustrate you. And then to see that the prosecutors are coming to court doing BS that's making the things longer, that's prolonging the case, and when they really don't even have to be doing, like basically bringing in 1,000 useless witnesses. You know what I mean? Miss Love going up there over talking every situation, thinking she gotta write a whole book just to say just a little bit. You know what I mean? Just to get the same point across. You know what I mean? It'll be frustrating. And then to have that many mistrial motions, which is really prolonging even more, because we all see every time that they make a mistrial motion, they tell the they tell the jury to step out. They tell the jury to step out. Then on top of that, before the Judge Whitaker read what that juror said in a letter to him, she said, not her exact words. I'm bad with remembering exact words, but this wasn't her exact words, but she basically said, it just wouldn't be right to have 2 good days in a row without something going wrong in this case. So, man, it just basically, man, just the judge is fed up, the defense is fed up, the jurors are fed up. Only ones that ain't fed up is the state side, and that's because they hoping and praying that they win this BS case that they don't bring. You know what I mean? They hoping and praying that they win this BS case, and we all see that it is not going in their favor. They are clearly losing. But I will say, the only little win that they have gotten, and it's by default, is by them giving them boys no bond, and by them taking so long in this trial. It has basically caused for most of them boys to take plea deals. And the reason why I say they kind of won in that regards is because we all see now what the jury is saying. And you could best believe most of those jurors feel just like, I think it was juror number 56 or something. You can believe most of those jurors feel the exact same way that juror number 56 feel. You know what I mean? They can't help but be biased in the defense favor. So in that case, I'm saying that to say, if they would have had a little bit more patience, I'm thinking they would have got acquitted of everything. They would have got not guilty, and they wouldn't have had no probation, you know what I mean, no nothing. All of them would have walked. You know what I mean? All of them would have walked. But I get it. It's easy for me to say when I'm not the one, you know what I mean, who was, you know what I mean, going through that trial like they were. You know what I mean? I'm just watching it on TV. You know, it's basically entertainment, you know what I mean, to me. So it's easy for me to say, but it is what it is. We all see now that they was winning, and they all were on the way to get a non-guilty verdict, which would have worked in their favor. But it is what it is. It is what it is. At the end of the day, the DA losing, prosecution side is losing. We can all see it. And it's even to the point now to where now that the big fish done got off, which is Thug, it's not to the point to where now where you can see they just don't have that enthusiasm in the, you know what I mean, DA Love, DA Hilton, and the rest of them, it just feel like they don't have the fire behind them no more, being that the big fish done got off. It's like it ain't. It's like the prize gone now, so we just playing for, you know what I mean, third, fourth place. First and second place already been won, so it's not. It's like now we just playing for third or fourth place, and you know that's not exciting. You know what I mean? There's no reward in that. We ain't gonna get no reward from that. We ain't gonna be able to give no speech off of that. We gotta tuck our tails and hide now. You know what I mean? And that's what they resorted to. And it's crazy that we hadn't seen Miss Love in that courtroom since Thug got off. We hadn't seen Miss Love in that courtroom until the day after that juror said what he said. And I was saying to myself, I wanted to do a video, but like I say, I was still sick and I didn't want to get on here sick. But I was saying to myself, Miss Love ain't been here, but now that juror done said what he said, watch her be in that courtroom tomorrow, and I be dang who was in that courtroom that day, Miss Love. Because she realized this case is gone. This case is gone, and the only way to try to bring it back is I gotta be in this courtroom, even though we basically done lost 75% of the case up until now. If I don't get back now, Miss Hilton can't hold this down. You know what I mean? Miss Hill can't hold this down, and I guarantee you Miss Love wanted to go in that courtroom and give a long speech in regards to what that juror wrote to Paige, but she wasn't there, which was her fault. Cause like I say, I just feel like they don't take this case as serious no more, being that the big fish is gone. And then you got Max Sharp and Weinstein in that courtroom still busting them up. Still busting them up. And it's crazy that yet Gotti and Shannon finna walk off free. They finna walk off with no probation, no nothing. I guarantee you. That's crazy. The ones out of all them who was facing a murder trial, well, they weren't the only ones facing a murder trial, but the two main ones who was facing a murder trial is finna walk off scot-free. And the ones who had the lesser charges is gonna be the ones, you know what I mean, that took the plea deals. But the way the case was set up, they didn't have no choice. But it just show you how God worked. It just show you how God worked. Just show you, man. It just show you, man. And I hope Thug can stay on that right track for 15 years. You know what I mean? It's not gonna be easy. It's gonna be a whole lot of having to stay in the house. Whole lot of just going to work, going right back in the house. Do trust, he gonna have to turn his life around. Do trust. You're not going, in these 15 years, if he want to stay out, let me say that, if he want to stay out, it's not going to be easy. It's going to be a whole lot of going back home, after work, staying in the house. You know what I mean? Just a whole lot of, he going to have to turn his life around. Trust me, he going to have to turn his life around. And like you say, you already see he can't do drugs. He basically can't do nothing but smoke tobacco and drink alcohol. You know what I mean? That's not a bad life, you know what I mean? But the life that he coming from is gonna be an adjustment. The good thing about it was he was already down for two and a half years, so most of those bad habits and drug habits that he had developed were pretty much already kicked. He had already kicked those habits, so it was good. And one thing that was irritating me about his plea deal was, you know what I mean, going on the internet seeing a lot of dudes was on the internet saying that he took his plea deal was bad, and I can speak on it because I did time. So you know what I mean? So I got the right to speak on it and this and that, and that's true, but it ain't true, because my opinion on that is 9 times out of 10, you probably wasn't in no case as big as this YSL case. 9 times out of 10, you probably wasn't dealing with no corrupt Judge Glanville type of judge, or no corrupt DAs like Fani Willis, DA Hilton, DA Love. 9 times out of 10, you know what I mean, they wasn't facing your co-defendants against you. 9 times out of 10, you didn't have the resources that Thug had coming home. So I disagree with that, man. 9 times out of 10, you guys wasn't coming home to, you know what I mean, the resources Thug coming home to. You know what I mean? So yeah, you did time. Yeah, you kept it solid, but I just feel like you guys' situations was totally different. And yes, situations does matter. Yes, it does change the outcomes of situations. So, you know what I mean? Maybe if you had the resources that Thug was coming home to, maybe your outcome would have been different. You know what I mean? It just is what it is. So, just because you did time and you held it down, that don't mean you can speak on it and say Thug did a bad plea deal. Because at the end of the day, man, it's people 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 years old who ain't never been in trouble. Who ain't never been in trouble in one day of their life. They maybe got a speeding ticket, you know what I mean? Seatbelt ticket, that's about it. But besides that, you got people 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 years old who ain't never been in trouble, who ain't never been locked up in their life. So it's definitely more than possible for Thug to stay out of trouble. You know what I mean? For these 15 years. Plus, like I say, Thug is a multi-millionaire, and he's finna go on to make even more money. He bigger than life now. So you know he got the means to shield himself off from, you know what I mean, from the negativity, from the things that can put him back behind the walls. It's just up to Thug. That's why I say it's not that hard as people trying to make it out to be, because at the end of the day, it's up to Thug whether he go back. It just is what it is. He can control the people that he around. He can control the environments that he around. He can control the, you know what I mean, I know this sounds hard to say you can control all that, but you really can, especially when you got the type of money that he do. So it just going all depends on whether Thug want to stay out of jail, whether Thug want to stay out of trouble for the next 15 years or not. It's up to him. I don't think that plea deal was that bad, because I can tell by his body language. Before the judge made her ruling, I can tell by the body language. He was almost broke. That boy was scared. I ain't never seen Thug body language like that. Never ever. Never ever. Thug was damn near broken. I think he was expecting her to send him down the road for a little bit. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Cause like I say, I can tell by that boy body language. I ain't never seen Thug body language looking like that. And when she made that ruling, that nigga got his body, he got his, I don't want to call it swag, but he got right back to the old Thug, you know what I mean? But a couple minutes before that, his body language was looking bad. His body language was looking bad. I was goddamn feeling sorry for the boy. I'm like, damn, boy, I ain't never seen Thug broke like this. But that just show you, boy, that system, boy, that shit can break you down, boy. That shit can break you down, man. In that case, man, and saying that to say, that's another reason why I think Thug gonna be all right. Cause like I say, the judge said he could travel for work. He can travel internationally for work. He can still make music. You know what I mean? So really, man, really he's straight. Like I say, he still got his same lifestyle. He just can't do drugs and he can't be around, you know what I mean, felons and gang members. It's enough dudes in the industry to where you can maneuver your way and still make good music. You know what I mean? So he gonna be all right, man. He gonna be all right. And like I say, right now, he bigger than life. So, you know, he don't really gotta associate himself with too many people right now, because right now, he bigger than life. People waiting on him to drop his first song, and you know what I mean, just to see him out in public right now. They can't wait. So, you know, shows gonna be sold out, music gonna be selling. So, man, he set up good, man. Like I know money and success doesn't buy happiness, but the things that he been through, you know what I mean, the things that he's been through in these last 2.5 years, he gonna be all right. I think he'll be all right. And plus, if you got any respect for him, you're gonna make sure you come around and, you know what I mean, respect his situation. That's just how life is. That's just how life is. So like I say, man, Fani Williams right now just a scorned ex, and she willing to do and say anything to make herself look like she ain't hurt. She willing to do anything to make sure that it don't look like that she took a loss. And you see she got all her little homegirls on the same page that she is. That's D.A. Hilton and D.A. Love. But we all see what it is. We all see what it is. And I can't wait the Thug Daddy come out and, you know, put the DA office on blast about how they tried to extort him too. I can't wait to hear that. Because another thing, I don't got too much information on how they tried to steal from Thug, his jewelry, his money, and things like that. I don't got too much information on that, but I know after the more days go on, the more of that information gonna come out. So I'm gonna touch on that as well. I'm also do another video later today on Trap Boy Freddy. No, not Trap Boy Freddy. Bankroll Freddy. I'm gonna do a video on Bankroll Freddy, on, you know what I mean, it's on a situation that most athletes, most entertainers, you know what I mean, or the situation that they put in when they first get there. And, you know, I ain't gonna get into it now, but I'm gonna go in on those type of situations and how us as black people, how we set ourselves up for failure once we first get to that next level. Because as we all see, that next level, it ain't guaranteed to last. And how we initially set ourselves up for failure, soon as we get there, we put ourselves behind the 8 ball as soon as we get there. But I'm going to touch on it some more on that bankroll Freddy situation. Deuces. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Talk to y'all later on. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Show me some love. Love y'all.